morning, everyone. I'm morning, Councilors. Oh, yeah.
Tell me a general feeling knowing that here comes another imposition.
I think it's a general feeling of Guyana. Our position here is not a representation of Linden. Our representation here is a representation of democracy. And I think you heard the councillor mention that one of the key pillars of democracy is good governance. What this commission is doing on behalf of the People's Progressive Party is hijacking a democratic process where on the 12th of June, overwhelmingly, residents of Linden chose who they wanted to manage the affairs of the town of Linden. And they chose 8,000 against just over 2,000 voters for the APNU. I think in that sense, it obstructed what you see the PUP recognize, even in that campaign, to have total domination of the political space when you got that victory from Linden. So what you're seeing here today is what the council is doing, is demonstrating that we're here to represent what is in interest of good governance against a commission that after the loss of the 12th of June election, at the instruction of the People's Progressive Party, is prepared to hijack the council. So not only with one candidate, and our objection is not to a candidate, our objection is to the process. A process that immediately after resignation that should have given 1 month's notice so the council could have prepared to ensure that we have a smooth transition. You had a resignation of 5 days from the last town clerk. What is fortunate for this council is at the statutory meeting of the 1st of November, the 1st of November statutory asked that the local government commission consider 3 positions put forward by the council. First, that the senior most officer in the council act until that individual is so allowed to put out those ads and work with the council to get the third option, which is to ensure that we open up the process for persons to send in application. That was not done. Instead, what the commission did on the 7th was to impose on us an individual, sending to us a letter, giving a substantive position to this individual as town clerk. We objected to that. And in that objection, we saw subsequent, no notice came to us because the council did not engage this individual because we weren't clear on what status this individual hold. You give us a letter, commission, saying this is your town clerk. We objected. A week after, we're advertising for a town clerk. So we would have gone to a council to do business with who we sought clarification. And we never got the clarification, even to say if the individual was acting town clerk, because the commission would have had to say how that came about. The powers given to the commissioners through the chairman and the deputy chairman allows them to make decisions on emergency basis. They would have had to justify that. So instead of answering to the council, what we see in today is the commission trying to maneuver and to whip up its own maneuvering of mistakes that it would have committed. Let me say further. These applications, it is not a question to ask whoever was acting as clerk if they ever refused to collect correspondence from the mayor office. It's to ask them how many times they did that. Because in that refusal to accept correspondence coming to the mayor's office, and I want us to realize, whoever put out the ad, allow for the ad to be addressed that any applicant can send their application to the mayor and town council or to the local government commission. It is for that to be addressed and forwarded to the commission. The individual who was seated there refused any correspondence coming from the mayor's office, which included those applications, as he was the sole custodian of the process. And today what we see manifesting itself, that sole individual is now aligning himself to be anointed the clerk of the town. That is what we're here to represent. A badly handled matter that the commission from every step of being checked continues to put itself in a very awkward position to justify how to use an illegitimate situation to legitimize someone. And that's what's happening here right now. So we're here in the interest of good governance to ensure the government of Guyana don't use constitutional commissions like the Local Government Commission, to hijack your democracy in the area of good governance especially.
Mr. Solomon, are you prepared to go into the chairman and commissioners to have your concerns known?
We are here. We are hoping that we are given the opportunity. The commission is one that works in the interests of our local government agency. We don't necessarily think we have to write, except we are here to express to the local government commission that, as a council, we have every right to come to the commission and find out as a council what is happening. So we'll be waiting to be invited upstairs and to be given an opportunity to say exactly what those concerns are.
If the process is not being followed, what next?
Well, I think it's for two things. The rest of the Guyana to see that the process is not being followed. I think it's important for us to inform and enlighten people about the threat towards our democracy, especially as it relates to good governance, and especially in the local government arena. So I think this is very, very important. Our next steps will follow based on the next steps of the commission.
Okay, let's hear from the deputy mayor. Yes, sir. What's your take on the situation?
The SOPs was breached in hiring this town clerk. We out here, we asking for good governance to reign, for good governance. We want the process to be transparent. We want all applicants, because we have known of applicants that applied for this position, and now we're hearing that it's only one application therein, and that is the issue we have with this job application.
All right, then. Thank you so much.
So here we are outside of the local government commission. We have some members of the law enforcement that showed up, and the usual, they will take photograph, take your name, take a shot of the protest card, etc., etc. This is where the office of the local government commission is located. This is the building there. Okay, I have with me Councilor Vanessa Kissoon. Councilor, your thoughts on this whole local government matter? Is it that you're seeing the breakdown again of local democracy in Guyana?
Yes, it is. And we, like we said before, we want the process to work. We want good governance to reign. We would like all applicants to have a fair chance. We must not be bullied into accepting only the applications that the commission is saying that they receive, when we know that mails were sent to the mayor's office was not received from the individual that was imposed on the Linden Mayor and Town Council. And we have seen this over the years, and this type of bullying by this government. And so we're here today to say, enough is enough, and we will not have this sort of behavior continuing, because all we're asking for is for the process to work. And like was said by the mayor, I think he gave the entire process. And even in the sending out of the advertisement for the vacancies, there was fraud in that. Even after the resignation of the former town clerk, within days, someone or an individual was imposed on the council. So we're here today to ensure and to send a message and to let persons know that we will continue to stand up for what is right. We will continue to speak out, and we will continue to ensure that local democracy reigns, good governance and local democracy reigns.
All right, I see the commissioners, one of the commissioners are here. Good morning.
I'd just like to update on the process of the appointment of the acting town clerk in Linden. I raised the objection that there were other applicants whose applications were not considered. They indicated that they did not receive the applications. However, it was acknowledged by the secretary and the HR manager that municipalities and NDCs can receive applications because they're the ones running the ads for the positions, can be received by the municipality or the NDC and then forwarded to the commission. If, however, in this case, Mr. Gaspar refused to accept the applications that were brought to him, then the process is not a free and fair one. Especially as he's one of the persons being interviewed, or the only person being interviewed right now for the position. I will say though that in future, applicants can bring it to the town, to the LGC themselves. But the process is, because the municipalities or the NDCs run the ad, it is naturally understood that they can receive the applications, and then that application, the said application, is forwarded and dropped in the box of the commission. Unfortunately, this was not done, and so the other persons who would have applied are now disqualified because Mr. Gaspar decided not to accept the applications. It's a very sad day, and I've excused myself from the process of Mr. Gaspar's interview because I don't think it's a fair one, and I don't think that it is fair to the other persons who would have applied. So I will not sit and make an illegitimate process illegitimate one. That's all I have to say right now.
What becomes of this now with the commissioners?
Well, what will happen is that it goes to majority vote. There are only two other commissioners inside of there: the chairman, Commissioner Norman Whitaker, and Commissioner Carl Subo. And they will, I am assuming, I'm not sure, but I guess the process will play out, and then we will see who is the person that will get the appointment. We'll wait to see.
And for the records, your name, please.
Oh, Commissioner Nicola Trotman. Thank you.